What's the story, Morning Glory? What is the word, Hummingbird? Thank you so much for clicking on my channel and for joining me for this review of The Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 11, Makeups, Slip-Ups, and Cover-Ups. So we are still at their first dinner in Portugal, and we're at the part where Drew had just walked away from the dinner table because she had brought up to Sheree how she felt some kind of way when Sheree brought up the lawsuit that's being filed against Drew by a former chef of hers. And she says that, Drew talks about how she doesn't feel like anybody's really acknowledging how she really felt. Anyways, Drew walks away from the damn table. So, Sheree, Kenya, and Sonia, they follow her out. Drew says that the lawsuit is a thorn in her side and it's affecting her and her family. Sheree tries to have a conversation with Drew about it, like to get to the bottom of her feelings, but Drew is too much in her feelings to have a conversation with Sheree. So Drew says that it's not just about the $1,000. That's not even what's bothering her. The issue is that this woman who is suing her is getting online and is spreading a bunch of lies about her. And that's what's really bothering her. Candy, on the other hand, she does not buy any of this. She thinks that Drew is being over dramatic. And when Drew got up and walked her from the table, Candy was like, and scene, as if to say she's just putting on for the, putting on. She's just acting. This is not real. She's just being overly dramatic for no reason. Kenya suggests that they all chip in to pay the lady off just to make this go away. And Drew was like, y'all don't understand. It's not about the money. It's about how this woman is affecting my family. So Drew in her confessional talks about, now this is where I got confused. So she tells the ladies that it's not about the money. It's about the fact that this woman is spreading lies about her online. But then in her confessional, she brought up this story about how when she was shooting her video, there was a lady there on set, like a manager or something. And this woman was rubbing oil on Ralph's body, getting him ready for the video. And she had suggested that Ralph should audition for, the Black Magic Mike show in Las Vegas. And so her emotions are really coming or stemming from that because her man's in Las Vegas, trying to take his clothes off to audition for a spot on this male stripper show, and she is feeling I'm like, what? What are you talking about, Drew? What? You're emotional because of Ralph auditioning for the Black Magic Mike, or are you emotional because this woman is spreading lies about you, or is it all of the above? But anyway, so back at the dinner table, they talk about Candy, how she's not really being present with the group. She's always missing out on events. And the only thing that Candy can say is, yeah, because I'm working right now. So yeah, I'm not participating. And Candy said that she would totally understand if the women stopped inviting her to places because she can never make these events. So Candy says that the reason why she's working so much is because she still feels like she is still building her career, that she really has not made it to where she wants to be. And everybody at the table is like, what? Candy, girl, you're the most successful person here. How can you feel like that? And another fear that Candy has is that she says it's better to not have anything at all than to have something and then lose it. So she's working so hard, trying to stack her paper, grow her bank accounts, etc., so that she knows that she will always have the things that she's worked hard for. It doesn't have to worry about losing all of this. So yeah, Candy's high. Candy, we get it, girl. We totally get it. I think somebody even suggested, I don't know what scene it was, but somebody suggested about self-care, take care of yourself and don't overwork yourself. And Candy was like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. Candy, you're going to find yourself in an early grave. You're going to be working so hard, missing out on all the little things in life, that you're going to end up dropping dead from the stress, the exhaustion, overdoing it, overworking yourself, and you will never get the time to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So now and then, Candy, I'm going to need you to relax. Now, I have seen videos of her on Instagram where she's taking these beautiful vacations with Todd. So I don't know what she's talking about, that she doesn't do the self-care thing, because I have seen her on like real vacations with her real family. So anyways, moving on from there. The second day, the next morning, everybody wakes up, they get dressed, pampered, everybody has a glam squad, and they get ready and they all meet downstairs in the hotel lobby to start their day. Of course, Kenya is late, and it's so obvious that Kenya is always late on purpose because she wants to make a scene. She wants to, have all the attention on her when she walks out, have everybody, look at her and stuff. So It's really obvious, but this time it backfired on her because everybody was already on the bus waiting for Kenya. And here comes Kenya, trying to make a scene for herself. And as she steps outside, because it was raining that day, the pavement was wet. So she slips and she falls. And boy, did she play it up for the cameras, y'all. She played it because I know she felt embarrassed. And if you're going to fall in front of the cameras, in front of your castmates, you better act like you've just broken every bone in your body. You better play that up so that they don't laugh at you. Instead, they start feeling sorry for you because they're like, oh my God, Kenya's really hurt. So you better play up the pain. So of course, it's very over dramatic. She acts like she can't move. And so they have to call the ambulance for her. So the ambulance comes and it was just, she was just doing the absolute most. And then she's begging Candy to come with. And I'm like, why does Candy have to come with you? Why do you want to ruin her vacation? And her time there is very limited because she's going to be leaving the next day. Why do you want Candy to be drugged to the damn hospital with you when you can just, you fell. Okay, we've all done that. So you fell on some wet concrete or some wet pavement. Girl, it's not that big of a deal. You don't need anybody there to hold your hand. I wonder if she really wanted Candy to come in case the bill was going to be astronomical and she needed help paying the bill. I don't know. So and was she wearing house slippers when she went out there? It looked like she was wearing some type of house slippers. And so there's a moment where before they left, I guess because everybody's still stuck around, they didn't leave right away because they're all worried about Kenya. So there's a moment when Courtney is having a conversation with Drew, and she tells Drew that this is Kenya's karma. And that this is the second time that an ambulance has taken Kenya away. Okay, over some nonsense. So, the show must go on. We got to continue on with the vacation. So the weather is really bad. It's raining. So yeah, it kind of puts a damper on the whole entire mood. The women complain about Sheree choosing the rainy season to go on vacation in Portugal. So the first thing that they do for the day is they go to the market and they pick out the food that the chef is going to cook for them later. So at this point, the women, they FaceTime Candy and Kenya, and they've been at the hospital or the emergency room for hours. And the ladies say that Candy should use her status because, she's worldwide, right? Everybody knows who she is. Even the hospital workers, they should know exactly who she is. That she should use her status to try to get Kenya at the head of the line instead of them waiting around like peasants for hours on end. So later on, they have lunch. They talk about Marlo and Scottley. So the ladies tell Marlo that Kenya had said that she had met, that Scottley is just a Tinder date and that it's not that serious. And so, Marlo's like, it's not a Tinder date. It's not that. And then Manetta steps in and Manetta says, well, when you talked about how you and Rob, who is Kenya's boyfriend, when you talked about how you had gone out on a date with Rob, you were just trying to take the shine away from Kenya. And so Marlo in her confessional was ragging on Manetta, going so hard for Kenya and Candy. And I'm not getting it either. I'm like, girl, why are you even bringing this up? Like, what are you talking about? It was perfectly natural for Marlo to bring up how she had also gone out on a date with Rob. I didn't see that as her taking the shine away from. We all know that Kenya's relationships are fake. This is not a real relationship. We all know that. So Manetta, I need you to hush. It's not that serious. So we're not going to see Rob ever again. We've barely seen him so far this season, and after this season we will never see Rob again. So stop, Manetta. So we talk about how Manetta is, she's a hypocrite because, she didn't like it when Kenya mentioned Rob she didn't like it when Marlo mentioned going out with Rob, but she had no problem with Kenya talking about how Martell was in her DMs wanting to, holler at her or something. So, at this point, Martell calls Sheree. He tells her that because it's going to be, so many days without them, doing it, he wants her to think of him when she goes to bed at night. I was like, gag me, please. Just, ugh. So, Courtney and Sonia, they talk in their confessional, they talk about how they absolutely love Martell for Sheree. And I'm like, are y'all blind? Do you know who this man is? Do you know his history? Do you know how horribly he treated his wife, the mother of his 4 children? Stop. Anyways, Marlo. So Marlo says that any man with a pulse and no ankle bracelet is an upgrade for Sheree. Now, I do give her that. At least he's not on parole. Okay, at least he's on parole. He can go wherever he wants. They can go wherever they want together. Yes, that's definitely a step up from Tyrone. So, moving on from there. Sheree brings up how Candy had said and seen when Drew left the table in hysterics. And so Drew tells Sheree, she was like, well, I just wanted to be heard. I just needed you to acknowledge my feelings. And Sheree was like, we're talking about Candy. We're talking about how Candy backstabbed you because she didn't take you serious. That's your friend, okay, that was basically calling you fake when you got up and left the table in tears, didn't come up and check on you. That's the conversation that we're having right now. So Drew says that maybe Candy misunderstood, like the way Sheree had misunderstood. So Marlo says in her confessional that she talks about the double standard, that, Candy gets away with whatever. Candy can act like a horrible friend. Nobody calls her out on it. But if it was Marlo that would have said and seen and, referred to Drew being overly dramatic and being fake, they would have nailed her to the cross. But Candy can act like that and nobody says anything. So then Sheree brings up the tension between Drew and Marlo and how Drew talks about how horrible she felt when Marlo said F you at the winery, when she screamed in her face about her dead nephew. And so Marlo, takes accountability, I guess, and she apologizes to Drew for saying F you at the winery. Now, Marlo has a way of, I don't know if her apologies are genuine or not, because I fell for the okie doke and I thought that when she apologizes, it is for real. But a lot of people are saying that whenever she does that, she don't mean it. Her apologies are fake, like her friendships, and it's not a big deal to her because she really doesn't mean them. Moving on, Kenya. She is back from the hospital, and lo and behold, she's perfectly fine. She didn't even break a damn fingernail, let alone any bones. So obviously she's fine. She just played it up. She's always trying to run away. Like when they were at when they went to whatever college they went to, where she was supposed to do that line dance or whatever with the college, but it got canceled or something, because she got really sick. She was gone for half of the scenes for that moment. Now here she is, she's gone for half of the scenes in this moment here because she's in the hospital. And I'm like, what is going on with Kenya? Like, why is she always disappearing with some medical emergency? So, yeah, so she's fine. Okay, she didn't even break a nail. She's okay. So now all the ladies are at the pottery class, and Marlo says that when Kenya and Candy are not there, everybody gets along. And they show a montage of all of these scenes of Candy screaming and yelling and arguing and cussing somebody out all the damn time. I didn't know Candy was that problematic. I always perceived Candy as being, very level-headed, didn't want to get involved with any drama. She does stir the pot, and she is a catalyst for other people arguing, but for herself, I always thought that Candy kind of try to keep her nose clean. But then when they showed us the montage of her yelling and screaming at everybody, I thought it was hilarious. So Drew says in her confessional that because what were they doing? They were painting these little ornaments made from clay. And so Sheree, on her star, she was trying to replicate the She by Sheree logo. And Drew says in her confessional, the She by Sheree pottery star will be on her website for $150. Thought that was funny. So it is Candy's last night in Portugal. Sheree has planned a pajama party for all the ladies in her hotel room. She's ordered room service, alcohol, etc. So everybody meets up in Sheree's room in their pajamas. Everybody's there except for Kenya. I'm like, why isn't Kenya was tired from being at the ER all damn day. So Drew finally confronts Candy about how Candy had said, and seen. And she says that it made it seem like Drew was acting. You kind of dismissed how I was feeling and wanted to imply to everybody that I wasn't being genuine. And Candy was like, I've seen you have worse arguments with people about more serious things, and you've never had that type of an emotional reaction. So forgive me when I didn't take it very seriously, you talking about this lawsuit and getting so emotional over a damn lawsuit. But I do apologize. I'm sorry, for disregarding your feelings, for not taking you seriously. I'm sorry. Because Kenya's like, I don't want to get into a stupid argument with Drew about her damn lawsuit and why her lawsuit is making her cry. So she went ahead and apologized. Let's just get this over with. So then Candy asked Drew, so how is Drop It With Drew going? And Drew was like, thank you for asking. It's still going. Thank you. Okay, but like exactly what's happening with it. All she said was it was still going. So Sheree said that as much as the women support each other on their projects and endeavors, nobody really supported her when she launched She by Sheree. And Drew said in her confessional, we totally supported her because they were all in this group text, I think after the fashion show last season, and they were all waiting with bated breath for when the website to finally launch so they can start ordering stuff. They wanted to support her. They were there at the fashion show. They were ready with their credit cards to start buying, but the damn website had crashed. So they were totally trying to support Sheree. So Sheree was crying like a baby, like, oh, y'all support each other, but y'all don't support me. And then Sonia said, but look, your website, I'm not able to put anything in the cart. And she's showing her on her phone, like, I can pick the items that I want, but there's no option of putting them in the cart. Sheree in her confessional was like, okay, so now they want to act like they don't know how to use a damn website. Evidently, it was all there. I don't know why Sonia didn't see it. I don't know if it was hard to find, if it was hidden, but the option to put things in your cart was definitely there because all the ladies began ordering from her website, including Sonia. So I don't know. Okay, so 1 hour after production wrapped, the camera crew, they've left. I don't know who was recording. So the conversation, all the ladies now are having a conversation about what happened during the night that Bolo the stripper had made his appearance. And this is like, what is this? Was this like 2 seasons ago? I think it was 2 seasons ago when Kenya had invited everybody to to some beach house or something, and that night they had invited Bolo the stripper. And so evidently a lot of things went down that night. People were hooking up with each other, people were hooking up with Bolo, even the married ones, and it was like a big mess. But of course nothing was really said. Everything was speculation because the ones who were there and witnessed it, they had like a vow of silence. They didn't talk about it at all. And the ones who were not there to witness everything definitely just speculated about what went down. So the rumor was that LaToya and Drew had made out that night. And Drew absolutely denied it. She's like, I did not make out with her. We did not kiss. Nothing happened between me and her. And Candy was like, of course something happened because I saw it with my own eyes. I witnessed Drew and LaToya making out. And Drew was like, no, that didn't happen. I don't know why you're lying, Candy. And Candy got heated. Candy was like, you can accuse me of anything in the world, but don't you dare accuse me of lying, because one thing I do not do, I do not lie. And Marlo, who's having issues with Candy right now, Marlo even vouched for Candy and said, yeah, Candy, she might do a lot of things, but one thing she ain't gonna do, she's not gonna lie. Candy's not a liar. And so Candy was mad as hell when Drew was like, Candy, I don't know why you're lying. And Candy was like, girl, you don't want it with me. Don't you ever in your life accuse me of lying, because I don't lie. And that's exactly what you did. So in her confessional, Drew said that LaToya told her that the only reason why she said that her and Drew made out, because at the reunion, LaToya did say that her and Drew kissed when Bolo was there. And according to Drew, the only reason why LaToya said that at the reunion was because Candy told her to say that. But for what? I'm pretty sure the way that it really went down, LaToya probably went to Candy and was like, girl, I don't know if should I talk about what happened. And Candy was probably like, just tell the truth. I think that's how it went down. Candy was like, just tell the truth about what happened. And that's what LaToya did. So when Drew says, "Oh, Candy told her to say that," well, Candy told her to tell the truth. That's my personal opinion. Candy told her to tell the truth. The truth is, you and that girl were kissing. So Drew says that LaToya even apologized to both me and Ralph for all the lies that she told. So the producer in her confessional says, "Have you ever kissed a woman?" And Drew says, straight face, looking directly at the producer, "No, I've never kissed a woman." And then they show us a snippet of what's to come later in the season, where it says 3 months later, news breaks about Drew's lesbian affair with Ty, which caused her divorce. So Ty is the one that was married to Mimi Faust. Now Ty has a way of picking women who probably have dabbled in some, girl on girl action, and then Ty steps into the picture and she takes them completely over to the other side, because Mimi Faust, she kind of dabbled in some girl on girl stuff with what is that crazy woman's name, the Puerto Rican. Oh my God, I forgot her name. They kind of dabble when they have their little threesomes with Stevie J, Mimi Faust, and I want to say her name is Jocelyn Hernandez. So they've kind of dabbled in their own little thing, and then Ty, steps into Mimi's life, and then Mimi went, she married this woman. Drew kind of dabbled a little bit with LaToya, and then she meets Ty, and Ty takes her completely over to the other side. So Ty can sniff out the ones who are curious, and she leads them on down to the other side. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. On your way out, please don't forget to rate the video if you like this content. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel, and I'll definitely talk to you later. Bye.